On today's Minute of the Apes, it's the start of a dynasty, but this time it's not the Carringtons, it's by the Corringtons.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
What is the secret of the divine bomb?
The only good human is a dead human! Where there is fire, there is smoke.
The minute of the apes. 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 Yay!
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies, 1 minute at a time. I'm Todd. And Sean, you're sitting by as Richard comes up with one of the better intros that I think we've ever had to this entire series of podcasts. That was awesome, Richard.
Thank you.
Only took 5 movies.
It literally, I was sitting there, where's he going? And then when it paid off, I thought, that was good. That was good. I'm proud of you. How is everyone on this lovely Thursday?
Oh, doing good.
This week's just flying by, isn't it?
I know. It feels like it's just a Sunday or something.
It does. All right. I've got stuff to talk about the way that this was shot because during the little break that we just took, I looked up the director of photography. So we're going to talk about it, but only after we take the time to listen to minute 29. Sean, tell us what's going on with minute 29.
All right. We start minute 29 with our group noting they must hurry and ends with the same group reaching the archive section.
All right. Let's take a listen. Minute 29, Battle for the Planet of the Apes.
Be stronger. We must hurry.
Oh, Governor, look. F6.
now?
F6.
Alert Mendez.
Mendez to control room. Mendez to control room. Mendez to control room.
Somebody's breached the warning system at entry F6.
One of our scavengers.
No, it's been locked for years. Couldn't have been one of us. It must have been someone else.
Well, that's impossible. There is no one else.
Mendez, we have to act and act quickly. Alma,
Yes, sir.
work the B console. Quick, Mendez, quick. Quick. Oh, quicker. Faster.
As of minute 29, we have a village's worth of apes and humans and a ghost city's worth of radioactive people.
All right. I want to start with, and this is a behind-the-scenes moment, let's talk about the person that shot this film, Richard H. Kline. Died at the age of 91 in 2018, but had 56 credits as a cinematographer. So this man had a lot of work.
He did work.
He another tie to the Monkees. He was a director of photography for one episode of the Monkees. But let's get into some of the films this person shot, because I want to talk about that again. When you are a hired gun and you're just simply exposing and trying to get out, you might have interesting angles, use great lenses. But this guy, if you've never seen the Fleischer 1968 film with Tony Curtis,
Superman?
The Boston Strangler, he was the cinematographer for The Boston Strangler, and that film was shocking to people because he, with the director, developed a scheme where you saw both from the Boston Strangler's perspective and the person he was going to kill, and they were split screened, and they did all this stuff. Very innovative director of photography. He also made Soylent Green, so there's a Charlton Heston connection, which Soylent Green was one of those I loved as a kid. He was the director of photography on... I had it right there in front of me, the 76 King Kong. So he did King Kong. He also was a director of photography on Star Trek, the motion picture. Of course, toward the end, he does have one mark on his resume that may make people go, okay, he wasn't that good. He was a director of photography for Howard the Duck.
Hey, come on.
Okay, you cannot defend that film.
It had good special effects. It had some stop motion in it. Come on.
Well, the one film though that I really
you also got duck titties. Come on.
Duck Titties. That is the name of this episode, Duck Titties.
Duck Titties.
The one film that I do want to throw out to absolutely show his brilliance was he was the DP for the 1981 Lawrence Kasdan film Body Heat, which is shot almost as an homage to the great film noirs. It is gorgeous. It is just perfect. And, you know, and Thompson's got his stuff. Again, you go back to his work on Cape Fear that is just monumental of that genre. So, again, you put these people in this situation where the studios are going, we need you, crank it out. I think that's why we're where we are. But let's get back into minute 29. We've got a lot of hurry. We've got a lot of all these kind of...
We've got to get to F6 right now.
Well, we have a lot of urgency without reason.
Yeah.
And I think this is the payoff to what we were bitching about the day before, which is there's nothing that says we should get here.
And we have electricity.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We have power.
They're digging through garbage. They're trapped in radiation, but they've got a working security system for a region that hasn't been breached in years.
Right. They have monitors. And so it's just this kind of, there's a disconnect in why they have nothing, and yet they have these
working
things.
Power and an intercom system that works and all that kind of stuff.
Right. And the thing that was really just unusual, and it wasn't in the script, you know, when Alma jumps to the control panel, she bumbles the control panel for a second. I don't even know why that was in there. Oh, gotta turn it on. Oh, or whatever she does there before using the intercom. It just made no sense. Well, I mean, it was like the actor forgot to press a button and they just ran with it. And so she's like, oh, Mendez, you know?
I mean, even on top of that, I mean, when the F6, you know, lights up, they literally just go and stare at a light, at a panel. There's not like a screen there. It's just a light is blinking that they're looking at.
I will take the different approach that I was so incredibly bored with this scene that when Alma went, oh, and hit the button, I was like, hey, look, acting. She made a mistake. And she, I was excited by it.
Did the actor make a mistake? I mean, was that basically what happened? Because it was so bumbling. It was so unusual.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at it, there's actually the echo of the mic working before she actually flips the switch.
I thought
to
so
turn the mic on.
So
I wondered
so
if
the actor just kind of goofed and they just left it in there.
And I wondered that. Did she leave it in and the director and editor went, well, it's kind of realistic. Maybe she hasn't touched that button in years and she forgot to turn it on. But again, if you were to use people watching them, this even just came to me as I'm looking at the shot 1 second in with, it's got McDonald, Caesar, and Virgil. Enough light from you know, a phantom source is kicking against the wall. And the way they're framed and their shadows are there, you can see the sensor on the wall. It is so obviously framed so that you are seeing that. If instead of that, if we go back to this thing that we've kind of wished they would have done, which is one of the humans, one of the mutants, observing it. Let's imagine all they've heard are voices to this point. They maybe even outside, all they saw were shadows. And at this point is when they see the apes and, you know, push in on that person. They're like, an ape. They go in and they're like, they're apes. You could tell this story, but instead we've got a stupid sensor, and we don't even know at this point, outside of what's happened before in the previous film, that apes and humans don't get along. It's a very screwy story that we've not told who the threat is and why there is a threat.
They could have at least tied the sensors together with having a blinking light where the humans and the apes are setting off the sensor, and then that ties into the blinking light on the panel at least.
Yep, there was no blinking light. It was just a device on a wall. When Caesar and Virgil and McDonald walked by it, I was like, what am I looking at? Am I looking at an intercom? Is it going to do something?
It's a proximity thing or something, I guess.
Yeah, there was, and it was just a weird proximity, and it's, you know, up in the air. It's not where they could trigger it necessarily. It looks like a doorbell chime. I mean, it's it was a dead dumb piece of equipment that did nothing, that somehow triggered off this. And when they start saying F6, I have no idea what F6 means.
Exactly.
F6 gives us no point of reference. And also, you know, the fact that F6 is supposed to be some place that nobody's been in for years, yet the humans and apes just walk through a hole in a wall and they're in their place that's been abandoned.
That's just it. I mean, Colt basically tries to describe it as a locked area, and I said we saw them unlock nothing.
Yeah, locked from
They
what?
just
Yeah.
walked in. There was no locks or anything.
There was nothing there for it was. This is just kind of poorly written and not executed very, very well. And what should be an exciting moment for Culp revealing potential activity in his, I guess it's activity in his boredom, and that's why he's telling Mendez to quick, and constantly going quick and hurry.
That's what I was about to say. Quick, what is she doing quicker? I mean, flipping switches quicker, or what should she do faster?
Okay,
when he's barking at Mendez, quick, and I'm like, what
is quicker?
So let's talk.
How can I be more quick?
Let's talk about how not quick it is. So they trip their sensor. If technically at the start of this minute they've tripped that sensor because they're walking past it, and they stop and talk. That should have tripped it right then. Now we get the push in, and we cut away from that push at 8 seconds in, and we cut over to Alma and Culp sitting in the observation room. And right away, the little red light beeps. Now, I also think that red light beeping sound is one that must have been like from the library, because I swear they use that in Star Trek.
It's like the same sound that you get for doors opening and closing on spaceships. Yeah.
So now the light when it cut over here, and I'm scrolling through this. We first see the light blink. Hang on, at 9 seconds. Alma does look over, and she immediately gets up, right? Mm-hmm. But by the time Culp finally, and he's only looking at her getting up, he now at 12 seconds, he's watching her. So for 3 seconds, he's so excited about hurry, hurry, hurry. That thing is going, meep, meep. They should both jump up. Give me a shot. Cut from them tripping.
That's a new alarm.
Cut to the red light blinking, and then cut to them getting up. It shows the urgency. There is nothing. This is all fake urgency. You've got to call these people. He's not even that worried about the damn light.
Yeah.
It's awful. And I know that there are Apes fans in the world who are like, quit being a bitch to this film. I'm sorry.
But the fact, if he's so bored, this should be exciting to him.
He should be the one running to the console, not her.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I know. So
he can finally put some flesh on the city.
Well, do we want to talk about Mendez?
All right.
Sure, let's go to Mendez.
Talk about Mendez.
Let's talk about Mendez. Do you guys remember Mendez, right?
Well, yeah, because we just called Mendez.
But you know the significance of the writers putting Mendez in this film.
Please remind us.
All right. Well, if you remember from Beneath, the leader of the mutants was Mendez, a part of a dynasty.
Oh, shit.
Yes,
no, I forgot about that.
Yes. He was like the 27th or 26th or whatever that was.
With the Hall of Statues or whatever.
Right. So Ape Wiki basically. Exactly. Ape Wiki basically tells us that originally Breck was supposed to come back as opposed to Culp, and the actor didn't want to do it, so they elevated Culp to bring some connection back into the film. And then to kind of bring it back around to Dane's original idea, they threw in this character. Instead of a leader role, he was now kind of a subordinate to Culp. But it was supposed to be a callback to the start of the Mendez leadership.
At some point, maybe
of the mutants, correct?
Yeah, at some point he usurps Culp,
or something like that, right? The thing that Ape Wiki also mentioned about this character is that in the theatrical release, Mendez was cut, so it never got to be a dynasty for the original viewers of Apes.
Oh.
He never got that shout out as Mendez. However, it did get restored for the DVDs, which of course made a lot of people happy. So,
all right,
there you go.
Huh. So.
That's at least a little forethought, yeah.
Right, but the writers Corringtons, if they really wanted to elevate the start of this, they should have made Mendez the leader, and Culp still the subordinate somehow, right? And they could have gone with a more powerful character as a leader if they weren't going to get Breck, then just go ahead and establish Mendez.
So I totally agree with that, and beyond even the introduction of that, and you make this moment somewhat interesting, where it's not, and it's full of so many problems that, with the editing at the start. And the next problem that I got to make sure we talk about is roughly around the